place. Good girl. Ready to go? You sighted? Okay. Come on, this way. Gentlemen, welcome to the video. Out on a big chunk of public land today, doing a little bit of squirrel and dove hunting. And as you can see, we've got the dog running around with us today as well. I had this thought the other day that I was starting to come down with some pretty severe cabin fever, and I built most of my hunting, I guess you could call it career, off of chasing small game on a neighboring property to the one that I grew up on. And I figured, well, squirrels in season, doves in season, why don't I get back to my roots a little bit? And I've been craving a sort of return to simplicity lately. You know, I'm all about new camo patterns and gear and technology and all that, but every once in a while, I get this craving to sort of shut it all off and just go for a walk with a shotgun. In this case, we're hunting with a 20 gauge 870 Wingmaster, which is, again, the shotgun I grew up doing a lot of my hunting with. So we're just gonna start walking here, let the dog get some exposure to running through the woods while I actually have the potential to take some game with her. For those of you that care, we're hunting with federal heavy field loads today. I got a whole box of them on me right now, just in case we do get into some doves, because I will miss. I kind of prefer carrying a shotgun this time of year just because of all the foliage up high. You know, you might kind of have to sneak a 22 through there in a weird way to, you know, get a clear shot on a squirrel, but if I see him up there in a cluster of leaves, I can still take him with a shotgun. Okay, so Maple's just been terrorizing chipmunks on this section of the trail, but I'm not seeing any squirrels. There's a ton of little acorn shucks everywhere that are, you know, showing that there are squirrels and chipmunks here feeding. I think what I might do is find a tree, have a seat next to it, and just wait, see if they expose themselves, because I'm sure having the dog running up under them probably isn't making them any more likely to come out. Oh yeah, that is the stuff that we're looking for right there. Tons of them. Where are the squirrels? Ah, oh, that might be a bird. Got a squirrel right here. Oh yeah, I see him moving there. There he is. There's two of them. Maple! Come! Fetch up. Oh, look at her on point on it. Well, she's got the pointing figured out. Oh. I'd say that's about the shot placement you want right there. That's one down. His buddy's right above me still. I feel like I can probably get him too, if I can keep my bead on him. I know he's right up here, up top. Let me see if I can get a different angle on him. All right, well, we got one down for the day. Maple was pretty pumped about it, I would say, overall. I've been sitting underneath the tree where his buddy was for quite a while now, and he hasn't made a move. I'm thinking he got into the main trunk somehow, and maybe he'll come out later, but maybe not. So I think what we're gonna do is keep covering some more ground, trying to find another area with good sign, because this had great sign. There were acorns all over the ground. Try to find some that are more active up and out of their nest. And man, she's loud, isn't she? Probably give it 5 more minutes and then we'll move on to another area. But one down, successful trip. But this was a good example of why using a shotgun instead of a 22 was advantageous, because shooting up through all that stuff, I could see his body and I knew his head was there somewhere. But with this, you know, like, body shots are fine because you're gonna get enough overspray that you'll probably catch the head and neck. And you know, up at that height, I'm not too worried about hitting him with too many pellets and ripping him up. This is a modified choke, so it's a nice in between. But you can see up here, it's awfully difficult to get a 22 bullet through there cleanly and, you know, hit him in the head or chest. Really, with that, I want really clean headshots. So once the leaves fall, I'll go back to them. But for right now, stick with a 20 gauge shotgun. But I'm gonna try and go find my shell, because you should not leave your shells in the woods if you can help it. And then we will move on here. There's my shell. Whoa. Federal 6s work just fine. Well guys, no dice on the second squirrel, unfortunately, but we are lucky to have a beautiful sunset behind us. So with one squirrel in the bag today, I think that's a little too few to do a whole recipe for, but when we get back to the house, I will show you how I like to skin them and prep them to be vacuum sealed and then stored for a recipe in the future, because I definitely am going to make a banging squirrel stew eventually. I just need to get enough actual squirrels first, which I had a feeling, you know, today would be a little more productive than it was. But if I could have gotten that second one that was with him, probably would have had what we needed for the recipe. But I live real close to this public, and squirrel season is going to be in for quite a while, so rain check on the cook part of this hunt, clean, cook video. But we'll get there for sure. Let's head back to the house and get this squirrel taken care of. All right, so for these steps, you're going to need your squirrel, a good solid knife, and something to cut on, cutting board, whatever you might have. When cleaning squirrels, beautiful shot placement, by the way. When cleaning squirrels, it's important to do as few cuts as possible, because this hair is extremely hard to get out of meat once it touches it. So this is going to be pretty much a one-cut method for skinning a squirrel. We'll go ahead and take our knife out here, and we're going to go underneath the tail, like so. And we'll be able to find this sort of knuckle between the tailbones, and we should be able to cut straight through it, just at the base of the tail here. So go ahead through here, like so. So once you're through the tail like so, you should be able to just grab by the back feet here and push and pull. And that skin should come right off like so. Now in this case, we didn't get perfectly clean pull, so I should have brought that cut around a little bit further, but typically this is what you can expect. And then we can continue to just pull up the back here until we get up around the head. There you go. So now you have, well, there's a couple pieces of shot right there. Discard those. So now you have the feet here and the head. We'll just come back around here and get the back legs done too. Try to anyway. Pull that. You're basically pulling them out of socks, like so. So now you have a perfectly skinned squirrel. Now I just so happen to have this giant piece of countertop just hanging out in my garage to finish this process. So here's the back feet. We'll just find where the ankle joint is, pop right through that. You could also do this with a pair of side cutters. through. Check the other one. We're through. And now up front here, go ahead and take the head off and the 2 front feet. Pop through. Pop through. Okay, now what you have is a skinned squirrel. Final step is to gut it. You're going to make a cut from right here on the belly all the way up. You're going to break through the ribs as well, and then you're going to split these 2 chest muscles straight down the middle and open the whole thing up. I like to do one final check after rinsing it out to make sure I didn't leave any lead shot in there. In this case, it doesn't seem like I did. So what you have there is a completely cleaned squirrel, ready for a crock pot, deep fryer, or in this case, a vacuum sealer. If you guys enjoyed the video or found the information helpful, please consider liking the video below and subscribing to the channel. We got a lot more coming down the pipeline as we approach deer season this year. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.